Hello! Welcome to the for real episode 8 this time of Glacial Knits Podcast.
Actual episode 8.
Uh-huh.
I mean, technically, the other one was the actual episode 8, but episode 7 is lost to time, so... Anyway. Hi. My name is Sari, also known as the girl who crafted.
And my name is Jonas, also known as Shop Boy Jonas on Ravelry.
So, welcome. Thanks for joining us. For those of you returning, thank you for coming back. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, thank you for giving us a try. We hope you enjoy this.
We hope you do.
So I guess I started knitting like I wasn't going to have to immediately put this down.
Just finished objects, yeah. But what would you have been doing with your hands for those 30 seconds?
I don't know. Who knows? It's a mystery, right?
Right.
Anyway, it's stuck and I like to put it down. So, all my stuff's on the floor. So talking about faux, I showed you, well, I didn't show you this last time. I talked about this last time, which this was done. I just couldn't find it. So this is one of the self-striping, I still need to fix this top bind off. That's why it's not done. Self-striping colorways that I dyed. This is called Tenaris To Do, and this is an OMG Heel Sock by Megan Williams. So it's, you can see it's navy and then a navy speckle and then navy and then white. So that's that. I like this colorway. I've got some more of it dyed up, but I have to reskein it. We talked about that last time, the pain of reskeining this striping. And I made the top bind-offs like way too tight on these, so...
Right, those are the circulation cutoff socks.
Yeah, I can't even get it over my calf, really. This is I was working on these the last time we talked, so... this is the same pattern, so it's still an OMG heel. And this is called Glory Glory, so it's a little bit different in that, well, it's different colors, but the pattern's different because it's black and then a skinny stripe of yellow and then red and then a skinny stripe of yellow. And so the first one, they're based off of some of my favorite football teams. So this one is Manchester United, although I was knitting it during the World Cup in support of Belgium, who finished third, which is fine. It's not winning, but it's fine.
Better than they've ever done before.
It's better than they've ever done before. And so, but it's Manchester United themed, and then the other one is Tottenham Hotspur themed. So I'm gonna try to get those out soon because the season starts soon. I haven't actually dyed any more of Glory Glory, but self-striping is hard. It's hard. It's a lot. Also in socks, I have finished these, which I was working on last time. This is another one of my colorways. This is My Head is Aching in GMT, and these are the London Sky Socks by Clare Devine. This is just a rib pattern, really. They're tall, or one of them is super tall, as you can see. It comes up to it's like almost a sleeve, right? That's fine. I say one of them because I apparently did a really poor job of counting how long my sock legs were because they're like this. I have this much yarn left, which I don't think is enough to make up the difference on the one leg. So I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to rip this one back so it's the correct length. This is why I rarely knit top-down socks. One, I never know how long to make the legs so that I have enough yarn. Two, now to fix this, instead of just ripping this back and then redoing the bind off, like ripping it back and then I guess I would have to redo the cast on, but, or not the cast on, the ribbing. But now I have to rip back a whole foot plus an equivalent number of rows on the leg and then reknit a whole foot. And I don't want to do that, so these are just going to sit in this bag and think about what they did for a little bit.
And did you say at some point that those were twisted rib?
They are a twisted rib, yeah. It's a twisted rib pattern. Mm-hmm. They're really easy. I mean, the pattern is super simple. So,
can I ask a new question?
Yeah.
What's the difference between rib and twisted rib?
Knit. So for twisted rib, you knit through the back of the stitch instead of just knitting.
Oh, so like instead of like that, you'd be like.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Because it kind of flips the stitch around.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So these are done-ish, in that I have to rip out a whole foot and reknit it. So they're not really done. Unless I want to wear socks that are decidedly two different lengths. And I don't. Especially since the one that's too long comes up to here, which means it's going to be like past my knee.
You'd have some really weird folding over.
It would be a weird situation. So,
but from like one viewpoint, they are technically finished.
They are technically finished.
They're just not in a fashion you would like to embrace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they count.
I counted them as a finished object because they're finished. So I have moved on to this, which the yarn's the hottest of messes right now. I did the swatch. I did the swatch alternating skeins because I wanted to see what the yarn speckle would look like alternating skeins, because they are decidedly different. I did them in one at a time because that is how I have to do the speckle dye yarns. I don't have a setup where I can do multiple skeins at once. So I did them one each separately. So there's one that's got a bit more speckle on it than the other of these two skeins. And so I swatched it with both, and it's baby alpaca and silk. And I had to rip it back, and ripping back baby alpaca is the stuff of nightmares. So this skein is like is that.
Fuzzed all over the place.
And like, it already took me like 2 hours to just get the skeins re-balled after I ripped the swatch back. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't going to mess with it. I will solve that problem when I have to. So this is the beginnings of a sweater. This is the back. It is Olivia's Tea by Sandra Butler. So it's really just a tank top with some lace patterning at the bottom. So it's basically stockinette until you get to like just above the hip, and then you do yay much of a lace pattern. And this is Knit Picks Diadem, which was in the diamond colorway, but it is now in whatever this gray with pinkish purple speckle is, because I overdyed it. This color doesn't have a name. It just is. I looked at it. We had a family discussion about what color do I want this to be, and we settled on this.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna look good on you.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's alpaca, but it's alpaca silk, and it's a tank top, and so I'm hoping to get this done sort of quickly so I can wear it still while it's summer. But I mean, if not, even just like putting a long sleeve under it or over it, I think would be fine. So, nice. So that's my knitting. You can talk about your knitting.
I will in just a minute. Sorry, I'm swatching, but I'm supposed to be swatching in pattern here. And purling two together is apparently beyond me sometimes.
Purling two together while speaking.
Yes. This is the Caligo hat by Marie Petra, and this is out of our Lord John Gray yarn from the Outlander yarn swap. This is the Aran Weight merino cashmere that we did for the third month, I think it was.
I think it was third, yeah.
Yeah, but it's super great. It's soft. It's going to be warm, but not too warm because this is a fairly loose kind of textured pattern. I'll put it on because I couldn't last time, but
Yeah, it's a nice hat.
Yeah.
I like that pattern. And, even, because sometimes you lose the patterning in variegated, but it's not that bad, like, you still see the variegation and you can see the texture pattern because it's not that complicated of a texture pattern, so it works out. It's
pretty much, what was it, basket or moss stitch?
Yeah, I still don't know.
I don't know. Which. And then the cable comes through pretty okay. I thought this was fun because you kind of knit the cabled headband as its separate piece, and then you picked up the stitches to knit the rest of the hat. So
yeah.
This is cabled project 2. I've now done 2 cables. I'm very proud of myself.
They're not hard. They're not scary.
I know. They were very scary for me. I am still working on the Jared Flood Cobblestone Pullover. I just finished my swatch.
Which is very wet.
It is off screen in the other room. Very wet. Like even more damp than this was last time. But it is in, I think I said last time, it's in the Malabrigo Worsted Purl 10 colorway. Nice brown, gray, purple almost at times, depending.
Yeah, it's definitely purple, but it's got some brown in it.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting colorway. Malabrigo does that.
Yeah, I like kind of it's a solid color, but you get the tonals coming through.
Yeah, they're good at that.
So this will be, something. It's my first actual. I've made a vest, but I haven't made anything with sleeves before, so we'll see how that goes, and if I can get it to fit in a way that doesn't make it look like a sack.
Well, that's the thing about swatching.
Yeah, that's why I made a swatch that's like this by like this.
Yeah, I mean, you basically knit a cowl, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pro, I just don't think you can get accurate gauge from a 4x4 swatch. Like, you're not knitting your sweater at 4x4, and your gauge changes the longer your rows or, stitch counts. It's going to be different. So, if you're going to knit a garment that goes all the way around you, you want to have, a decently big sample size to take gauge from. That's my belief.
Yeah, and I like it because it gives me a chance to, I'm going to say practice, especially for things that are going to be a lot of stocking at. So, I can get a feel for the yarn so that I can do it more consistently when I'm doing it.
I always refer to swatching as getting to know your yarn.
Oh, nice. So it's just kind of it's like a first date with your yarn.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we've had a decent one so far. People always complain about how tangled Malabrigo gets, but I've never had anything but lovely experiences.
I'm the Malabrigo whisperer.
Yeah, you are. It's true.
Long-time listeners to this podcast will know how much I love Malabrigo. And never once, not one single time have I had a skein of Malabrigo that was anything other than lovely and well-behaved.
Which is good. So then, when we were at Zondervan Knitpocalypse, I won a hat kit.
Yes.
In a giveaway. Oh, I didn't bring the poof. Oh, well.
Oh, the giant.
The giant.
It's enormous.
But the yarn in it is from Queen City Yarn, and it is in the very appropriately named Mint Chocolate Chip colorway. It's white. It's mint green. There are brown speckles in it.
Yep.
It's going to look like ice cream on my head. Or ice cream on your head if it looks terrible on me.
Yeah, we're not sure. He's going to try to make it for him, but the problem... Our heads are vaguely the same size, but if you make it for you, it's going to be too big for me, so...
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will. And then the pattern that came in the kit is called the Treadhead Hat, which I'm glad I'm reading it off of this, because I definitely did not write that down.
You thought it... Threaded hat.
Yes, threaded and threadhead are not the same thing. And it's from Christen Clement Designs. So I'm just swatching for this while the pullover dries. And you're swatching in a textured pattern. So that is why I was looking most concentratedly at this yarn, because doing early on in your gauge doing...
Yeah, I mean, you're still learning the pattern, so it's not the easiest thing to do. Because you gotta keep looking and what was I supposed to do next? I get it. It takes a few rows.
Yeah. Yep.
I will pop in with a thing that is not in the show notes and say that I won some lovely yarn from the Nerd Girl Knits podcast. They did a knit along, and I have gotten this, which is from Queuing Fiber, which are out of, it says hand-dyed in the UK, so I don't know where, but somewhere in the UK. And this is the Elderwood colorway. It's really dark, but it's like purples and greens and some blue and a little brown. And we have decided we are really big fans of... Here, I'll show you some more. We're really big fans of the Descendants movies from Disney. And this looks like one of the main character, Mal. Like, her outfit is this color. Yeah. So... I super love this. This is from Chris's personal stash, if I am remembering correctly. And so she wanted to see what it would be when I knit with it. So I'm trying to find it exactly the right pattern that makes me think of Mal, who's, if you're not familiar with the movie, the daughter of Maleficent. Mm-hmm. And so I'm trying to find just the right pattern so that it can be just the right thing that makes me think about Mal. Because I love Mal. Yep.
Evie's still my girl.
Evie's my girl, but I love Mal. So, you know, I'll let you know when I figure that out.
Can I ask you another new question?
Of course.
How do I knit one purl one into the same stitch?
The way it sounds.
So I go like that?
Knit it, and then don't take it off the needle, and then purl it.
Bring the yarn around?
No.
Move the yarn back here?
No, yeah, I guess you did bring it around. It's weird.
So bring the yarn around and I go like this.
Purl, that's, you did that backwards. Knit one, then purl one, right?
Yeah.
You didn't knit, you purled the first one and then you knit the second.
Did I?
Yeah, no, you came in from the front.
So?
Yeah, in
here.
that way, yeah.
Pull it on.
Yeah. So that's knitting.
Oh. Thanks. I know I've been doing this for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, but there are still some times when I first run across a thing and I just...
No, it's fine. I had this fear that you'd been purling wrong the whole time.
No.
Okay. No. I was like, his knitting looks fine.
No, it's just I do it wrong so consistently that you can't tell that it's wrong. Because I do it the wrong.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was like, I mean, it looks fine, so I guess if that's how you want to purl, that's fine, because it comes out looking okay. But...
No, I was just having a dumb.
It's fine. It's fine. I was like, I had this fear that you'd been like doing a purl stitch wrong for like a year.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's that, huh?
Yeah, that's what we've been knitting or are knitting.
Yeah. Okay. So this is me since you weren't there. So a couple weekends ago, mid-July. I didn't say we. You were there, like, briefly.
I brought you things.
You did bring me
And then I drove the things home.
Yeah, it was a mess. I was at the Cloud9 Knitting Retreat here in the Twin Cities in Bloomington, which was put on by Kittens Needle Arts. And it was a first-year retreat, so it was decently well attended, and I think, you know, they had a good number of people for our first year retreat, and it was mostly just classes and a few extra fun activities, and there was a market on Saturday, so I was in the market. Jonas was not there. I had outside help from my sister, who was in town from Philadelphia visiting, and so she and I did most of it, but the trick of it is, it was a little bit stressful, because the trick of it is that we cannot fit 3 people plus all of the shop stuff in the car. Mm-hmm. So we had to go in shifts, and the traffic around here has been awful because they keep closing the major north-south interstate on our side of town, which means our road is the next road.
Yeah.
Over from that, and so it's been a bit of a mess traffic-wise. Even like all the north-south streets in this part of town are a mess. And so there was that, plus there was also apparently a triathlon. So the alternative route that Jonas wanted to take was also closed. So instead of it taking like 10 minutes
each way
to get back and forth, it was closer to 30 minutes each way to get back and forth. So it meant that things were a bit rushed because he dropped me and the grid wall off and then came back, and I was putting together all of the grid wall on my own, which is fine. I can do it, but it goes a lot faster, like exponentially faster with two people. I was like, this didn't just take me half as long. It took me like 4 times as long to do it all myself.
Yeah.
So we were a bit rushed, but it was fine. It worked out. And you know, we had a good market. We saw some people, we met some new people, we saw some old friends. So, any of you who were there, it was good to see you. Thank you for coming. And I hope they put it on again next year, because it's really low effort for us to do. It's not, allegedly low effort for us to do.
Well,
provided that, you could drive between here and there.
Yeah, in time that isn't dumb. But if we do it again next year, if they do it, it's like we'll do it together.
Yeah.
So
it won't be as bad.
Yeah.
No. So it went well, and I had a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we were invited and that we agreed to do it. So good market. And I hope any of you who are in town consider either signing up for the retreat if they do it again, or just stopping by the market, because the market is public. So
yep.
Shout
out to Lindsay, our friend who wasn't at the retreat but was at an astronomy convention like 3 hotels over.
So she walked over to come buy yarn from people, which I appreciate it. It's always good to see the public and also friends.
Public friends.
Public friends. So that is that. You weren't there, so I don't think you have any thoughts on it other than you were stuck in traffic for the whole entire day.
Yeah. Like, part of the reason why I was not involved was because I had a lot of homework to do, and like I ended up doing like 45 minutes of work over this like 5 hours because of driving back and forth. Yeah, it wasn't. And having to make a chicken. Because we had to feed you and your sister.
It wasn't ideal. But we did it. We got through it. It was fine.
It was.
And so next up for the shop, I don't have new yarn to show you. I haven't made any new colorways. I have a whole bunch of them up here.
We've been busy restocking the things that have sold out.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this winter, after we're done with market season, I can get a little work done on new colorways. We've got a whole bunch of ideas going on. I actually should start writing them down, because if you asked me what they were right now, I would not remember. And I've had a whole bunch of super good ideas that I now do not know. So start writing things down is the moral of that story. Because I don't even think I told them to you, so I can't even rely on my backup method of, do you remember what I said I wanted to do with that thing?
Nope, I'm only involved in one of these projects.
I know. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
It'll come to me at the weirdest possible time.
I'm gonna be mid chopping vegetables or something for dinner. You're going to yell, Jonas, remember the thing, and it will hopefully not result in disaster.
Yeah, who knows? Whatever. Again, the correct response, if I'm like, Jonas, I remembered the thing, is write it down.
Write it down or it didn't happen?
Yeah, just yell back at me to write it down.
Okay. I would do that.
That's fine. So, the next thing up, though, is in August. So, basically now, we are, I don't know.
The brand
is doing a trunk show at Stephen B. here in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Which is our local yarn store and also the coolest, hippest yarn store in town.
It really is.
So I love the other yarn stores. That is not a slight on our other yarn stores. I like them all for different reasons. They all have their strengths. Stephen B is huge and a lot.
And they once let me hide my Halloween beard
on
the wall amongst their stock as a game to see how long it would take them to find, and it was like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, shout out to you lovely staff at Stephen B.
Yeah. So, I mean, Stephen B is like the destination yarn store, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems regular to me. And we have many very lovely yarn stores in the Twin Cities and like metro area. There's like a ton of yarn stores. Shop Hop is huge here. So if you happen to find yourself in or around the Twin Cities metro, there will no shortage of yarn stores for you.
Yeah. Many of them are worth a drive of a few hours at least.
Yeah, they all have sort of, as usual with yarn stores, they've all got their sort of cool thing. Like, I don't know if they still are, but Darn It Anyway in Stillwater had all that quince for a while.
Yeah.
Which was like super cool. All right. Anyway, enough about our local yarn stores. They're all cool. Come see all of them. I haven't actually seen all of them. There's many I haven't been to because they're too far out. But Stephen B. Trunk Show. So we are going to have the yarn there. I need to work out with them exactly if/when there is a weekend that I will be there with the yarn. I think that's what they want, but I need to work out the timing. Mm-hmm. I assume it's going to be one of the first 2 weekends in August.
Because the whatever Stitches Midwest happens.
Yeah, so. Stitches Midwest is going on. So we need to work out timing. I know the yarn will be there as of August 2nd.
Yep.
Well, call it August 3rd because I'm taking it over there the evening of the 2nd. Mm-hmm. So to play it safe, probably the 3rd or the 4th. Yeah. But it will be there for a while. Uh-huh. I don't know. I mean, the month, but it may be there longer.
Yeah. If come support
it and see it and touch it in person. I don't know which ones are going there yet. I have to decide. That's on the list for this weekend is pull all of the things for the trunk show.
We've probably posted this the night before we're taking stuff over. So if you're watching this and you have strong opinions, put some comments or send us a note.
Yeah, send us something and like, hey, I want to see this one. Because we probably, this will probably go up the 1st and I'm not taking it over there until the evening of the 2nd. So, that's that. So that's what I have. I mean, not a ton going on. It was a pretty quick turnaround and we've been busy with a lot of things. Yep. So not a ton of super exciting, interesting, big news right now. But I wanted to get this out to tell you guys it's a trunk show.
Yep. And I'll put links in the show notes to Stephen B's website and directions on how to get there if that is a service you would like.
I mean, if you're nearby and you happen to have the time, I recommend a trip to the Twin Cities, to Stephen B, to the other yarn stores in town, if you are so inclined. You don't have to come just to see my yarn, but you can. It's a cool store and it's a cool city and there's a lot of great places here. So we recommend it.
We do.
So yeah, that's all for me. Anything for you? We haven't been watching anything interesting because it's summer.
Yeah. It was World Cup for so long, and then you're revisiting your old friend Merlin.
Yeah, I'm doing a Merlin rewatch, which is fine. I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, and I'm not doing anything of interest. I am excited to someday watch. There's an anime apparently out this summer season called Cells at Work, where it is effectively an anime that's set up like a town, except everything is your blood cells and the various parts of your immune system, and it's like edutainment, but it seems fun.
Yeah, I've heard good things, so...
But I need to actually watch it before I have opinions.
Right, yeah, we haven't actually seen it. I've heard good opinions, but they're secondhand opinions, so... Yeah, and I wish I could tell you I was reading interesting books, but I'm not.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
At least it's not the Strangler book again this quarter. Which, to be fair, is a book that I've had to read in one of my doctoral classes like twice.
Yeah.
Now, and I believe the author's name is actually Spangler, but they are a very dry writer about very dense educational theory type stuff. So one of the times I was working on a paper, I kept writing Strangler on accident, and I have made the joke now that this is because it is strangling my will to live.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, that's what PhDs are all about, right?
Yeah. That is the feedback that I've heard. You're gonna barely make it through alive, but afterwards it was probably worth it, I guess.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I don't have one.
Yeah.
But that's, now we're just talking. So
we should go.
We should go. Thank you for tuning in. Short episode today. That's fine. Hopefully we'll have something more interesting when we talk to you next month, but I won't promise that.
Yeah.
So thank you all. And, again, show notes will be on the blog at girlwhocrafted.com.
Mm-hmm.
And episodes on YouTube, iTunes, and on the blog. So thank you, and we'll see you next month.
Yep. Bye, everyone.